everybody. This will be the second installment of what we call Vigil with Mitch. I'm in Effingham, Illinois. Layover. Do a lot of short stuff this week. I need to preface this off with saying that what I say and what I do on these videos are my opinions, my experiences, my memories, and pretty much my opinions, I guess. Talk about things that I've done over the years, growing up, trucking, childhood, adult life. So, these are my opinions, my memories, the way I remember things. So, I think it's Fourth Amendment. Freedom of speech. These are my opinions. So if I say anything to piss anybody off, sorry. Well, look at things. Today is Wednesday the 10th, September. I just saw where Charlie Cook got shot. Kirk. By someone that didn't agree with his views, opinions, whatever. I'm assuming now, is a leftist. Didn't like what Charlie Kirk had to say. Go back to the girl that got stabbed on the train. She was a white girl. She was former, but she was white gal. Everybody sat there, watched her bleed out. Didn't do anything. Kind of says what our society became over the years. If this had been a black girl, Puerto Rican, whatever, if she would have been anybody but a white gal. The leftists have been all over this. Since she kind of was a white gal, ain't too much being said. It's very shameful, in my opinion. I'll tell you what, the way things have become nowadays, I just don't know what to think. The guy that shot Charlie Kirk, guy, gal, whatever, whoever shot him, probably go unpunished. The way things are nowadays. And like I said, I wanted to preface these things that I say on this are my opinions. What is the Fourth Amendment? Freedom of speech, whatever. Anyway, this world is going totally fucking nuts. I cannot fathom a girl sitting on a train, riding home, wherever she was going. Guy gets up behind her and stabs her walks off, goes about his business. It's horrible. It really is. I mean, it is just freaking horrible. People stood by there, watched her bleed out, didn't do a thing. If I'd been on that train, I probably would have got stabbed too, because I'd have been all over that guy. Crazy. And the thing is, craziness are the people that support people like this. I just don't get it, you know. Like I said, I want to preface all this with emphasis on these are my opinions. I will talk about my trucking experiences, my opinions on things, growing up, my childhood, the stupid things I did as a kid, and hopefully everybody will relate to growing up in the 60s, 70s. You know, I hear these things about what's going on. It just dumbfounds me. I feel so bad for the world that my grandchildren will have to live in. Even my kids. I got 3 kids that are in their late 30s, mid 30s. It's just horrible. But the scary thing is, there are people out there, you know, they might be anti-Trump. Trump seems to be the devil in disguise. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care one iota about politics. In my growing up, to me, Reagan was probably the best president. JFK was the best, but he didn't have anything do that affected my life. Reagan did. Loved Ronald Reagan. God bless him. May he rest in peace. But the things that are going on nowadays, it's just beyond comprehension. I just don't get it. And really don't want to get it. A gal sitting there on a train, minding her own business. Guy gets up behind her, stabs her on the way out, and walks away. And people sit there and look at her. And she ends up dying. What do you think? You know, do you support the guy that stabbed her because he was not a minority? Don't know if he had mental illness. I would think he would have mental illness to do what he did. But who knows? So, I kind of took it back to Obama. He started what I would call the emphasis on racism. Growing up in the 60s, I saw racism on TV as black people being more, you know, whatever their race was, I'll say non-white, being sprayed with fire hoses shoplifter. She might be black. She walks out of a Target store with $300 worth of groceries that she just stole, basically. Gets caught, and she blames it on racism. You just stopped me because I'm black. No. We stopped you because you stole. You're a thief. I don't care if you're black, white, Indian, purple, green. You might be from Mars. You stole. That's why you bring detained. But in today's society, that is acceptable because the two words that pop into my mind are white privilege. You know, I don't get it. I have a relative of mine. Love them to death. Always will, even though they became a leftist Nazi, for lack of a better word. They moved out to the East Coast, being born and raised in the Oakwood area. Fairly well to do, and has no tolerance for anybody that is non-white, born in the United States. I had a conversation with him one time on Facebook and was telling him about how I got into the trucking industry. I was discriminated against in 1978 because I was a white guy. I am a fluorescent white Irish, actually Scotch-Irish, white guy. Didn't get hired in the coal mine because of my race and gender. And she proceeded to say, yeah, but your white privilege allowed you to get a job, a fairly good paying job, because you were white. I proceeded to challenge her, saying, you want my job? You can have it. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. But it was kind of my only way out, trucking. She said that my white privilege allowed me to become a truck driver. I have no words. I really don't. My white privilege, I have not seen anything, any results of being prospering because I'm a white guy. I've seen results of my being fairly prosperous because I work. Doesn't matter if I'm black, green, purple. I might be a Klingon. You know, you never know. But I earn my honest living. This white privilege crap. Oh my Lord. I am so over it. And my heart goes out to the girl that died on the train, being stabbed. I out to all the people who legitimately have issues being white, black, gray, green, purple, whatever. You know, if you're on hard times, God bless you, brother or sister. My heart goes out to you. It really does. But when I hear the term white privilege, it just makes me want to puke. I cannot stand it. You try being a white, straight male in today's society. We're the minority. White straight guys are the minority. And I don't care how you package it. If you're a white straight guy, you are the enemy in today's society. I don't know. It just floors me. And it seems to be getting worse. Even after the Obama years. Obama, I thought, kind of brought to light the term racism. You know, if you're black or not white, you are the enemy. Black people or, you know, non-white people are the victims. Well, if you steal $3,000 worth of groceries from Target, you happen to be black and get caught, it's not racism. You're a thief. A lot of white people steal. Doesn't matter. There are just as many white assholes, thieves, entitled. They think they're entitled. Well, I don't have a job, so I'm entitled to go in Target and steal $800 worth of stuff. I'm not getting a job, you dick. You think I like working like this? No, I don't. I would rather be home with my lovely wife, love you, Paula, with my identity, and my grandkids. But no, I'm out here trying to do what I can to provide a living for my family. And there are people out there that they want to live off the system. And I don't get it. You know, if you are legitimately like handicapped or I can't think of anything else. If you're handicapped and can't work, then yeah, we'll take care of it. If you're old, like I'm getting, in my opinion, 2 or 3 classes of people should be taken care of. First being the elderly. You know, they've done their time, they've worked their jobs, they've been productive, they're old, they're living off Social Security. Let's take care of these people. They've done it. You know, they're deserving of our being taken care of them. You have disability? Yeah, we'll take care of it. Legitimately. If you have PSTT, PBTS, or whatever the hell it is, because you saw your mom fell up on the sidewalk when you were 7. not so much. Veterans. Veterans who are active in the military or honorably discharged should not have a worry in the world. They should be taken care of, like medically, educationally, employment. The military, guys and girls who have taken care of us to be living in our free society. Quote. They should have a worry in the world if they're still in the military or honorably discharged. They should be taken care of, I think. People that abuse the system, I don't know, they keep popping out babies, they have 8 or 10 baby daddies, don't want to work, shoplift, live off the system, whatever they do. Out of here, Jack. Fend for yourself. It just, the way things are today, it just kills me. It really does. Because I was brought up working man, you pay your dues, work for a living. Should be a little helped out by the government, like IRS. I work on a 1099. So, for those of you that don't know what a 1099 is, it is, I am paid for the work I do. They don't take out any taxes, they don't take out any Social Security, they don't take out anything. They just pay me for what I do. And then I pay my taxes, I pay my Social Security, I pay my unemployment, workman's comp. Don't get me started on workman's comp. Crazy. I pay $1,500 a year. Now this is in the state of Illinois for a workman's comp policy. That what they call a ghost policy. If I get hurt on a job, I'm paying this what's called thing, I'm not covered. It ain't covered nothing. It has no coverage whatsoever. They take my money to abide with the law, the insurance company. They take my money to abide by the law. I have to pay it to abide by the law. But if I get hurt, they don't cover nothing. They don't cover dick. Sorry. Sorry you got hurt, but your premium is due next May. It's craziness. The things I have to pay to run this truck up and down the road. If the road tax, I got stopped one time by a cop. I was speeding 63 and a 55. Yep, I was speeding. Yep. I owned it. Yep. But he come up to the truck, and the first words out of his mouth was, "Do you have any legitimate reason for speeding on my highway?" Cop said that. His highway. And I was guilty. I was going to, take a ticket, pay it, be done with it. when he said my highway, I thought to myself, we're going to challenge this guy because he's riding around in a vehicle that I pay for, and I hate it when cops, you get stopped and they say, or I say, I pay your salary, blah, 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 whatever. But when they say, do you have any legitimate reason for speeding on my highway? Listen, Jack, I pay over $10,000 a year in fuel tax, road tax, this tax, that tax, whatever. And when you call it your highway, nah, I don't think so. It's kind of like my highway. I know I pay for it more than you do. So, caught the ticket, got out of it. They reduced it down like a tail light or whatever. I requested a jury trial. The things that a guy has to go through nowadays to provide a living for his family, and I know I've kind of drifted off the original subject, but it is absolutely insane out there. Crazy. I'm going to have to kind of end it there because I'm getting ready to go off into a tangent. And I don't want to do that. So, anywho, and on my first episode, I got a little bit of feedback, good and bad, and I appreciate the feedback. I'm going to go into this as things that I have experienced, things that I remember growing up, childhood, trucking, family, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to put up with a lot. But, if you want to listen, I got a little bit to say. If you don't, appreciate you anyway. So, I'll kind of end it here. But, like I say, I do want to say that things that I say on here are my opinions, or things that I recollect. My names, nothing incriminating. There's no crimes to be uncovered or anything. I'm using this as an outlet. I want to let people know that for a guy who's been out here doing this trucking thing for 47 plus years, I just want you to know that where I'm at, what I feel, my opinion. So, that being said, I'm going to cut this one off. I love you all. I want to say hi to my wife, who is up home keeping the fires burning. I am so lucky. I've got a wonderful wife in my life. I cannot love her more. Love you, babe. And I'll be back next week with some more rambling, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I feel so bad for that gal that got killed on that train. Crazy. Charlie Kirk getting shot. might end up getting shot for the stuff that I'm putting on this video. You know, because I don't go with the, what do you want to call it? Anywho, I love you folks. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for listening to me. I will be back next week with the next installment. And I love you all. And you all take care. Oh, and my impersonation. I told you I do impersonations. Been thinking about this. Y'all know the guy, Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham. Guy with the dummies, ventriloquist dude. Love the guy. He's pretty cool. Anyway, this is my impersonation of his dummy, Walter, the old man. So, check this out. Trying to get it right. Okay, that's Walter. I'll do better next time. Promise. Anyway, love you all, and you all take care, and I will check you later on the next time.